Hi there, I'm Megan and I go by Solar Glow Meditations. Tonight we're going to have a distance Reiki session where I have selected some tarot cards to help guide the energy that we're working on tonight. And I'll also be using some crystals to help guide this meditation. If you like any of the energy from the crystals, don't worry about remembering their names. I'll link them down in the description box so you can go back and look for them later. Yeah, I do need your consent to work on your energy, so by staying for this video, you consent. You can also do so in your head, in the comments, wherever you feel most comfortable. And please let me know if you have any requests, and it would help me greatly if you could hit the subscribe button. Tonight's energy is so strange. It has led up to tonight, and it's kind of been this all week. I'm going to start with a smoky quartz crystal for working through this energy, and I'll just start to describe what's happening. And it's going to be a little different than normal. So, this entire week has been all about deja vu, premonition, precognition, knowing that I've already lived this day over again, waking up and knowing it's a different day than it actually is. And the tarot spread tonight, it kind of hit me like a ton of bricks. I had this exact same tarot spread. I can't recall if I just did it for myself or if I did it for the video last week, but it's kind of blowing my mind right now. And so I want to focus this video on grounding in reality, grounding to your body, coming back to your truths, and recognizing what's real for you. And I have a bit of a story to go with this. I know there's lots of folks that are always interested in sort of breaking out of the matrix and how do I escape from what is, some folks like to call it a prison planet or just a reality you don't want to be in. And I had this dream last night where I went to go sell my car. But as I went to go sell my car, they were like, "Oh, we need to arrest you." And I was looking at them confused, and I said, "Arrest me for what?" And they said, "Well, we don't know, so just hang out in the lobby until we can figure it out." And so I did. I waited there. I had no reason to. It was a dream. I could have gotten up and walked away. But I didn't. I sat there. I obeyed this person for no terribly good reason. Perhaps there was like this threat or this fear that kind of went along with it. Like, I don't want to get in greater trouble, so I'll just stick it out and figure it out. Good. Make sure you're breathing. Reconnect to your breath. So, as I'm sitting there waiting for them to figure it out, I look over at this prison and kind of see what's going on. And they have people that look like they're astronauts in spacesuits that are about ready to get down into this pool. I'm not quite sure what they were doing, but it seemed like it was really labor intensive and people didn't necessarily want to participate. And it looked like there were some other things happening. I'm not quite sure. So anyways, I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, I need to use the bathroom. You guys are taking a long time. I'm just gonna go find the bathroom. So I start wandering around and they're like, "Oh, it's actually out of like this lobby area back through the garage and head towards these like office space looking things that are right next to the stairwell that are like glass offices. They're like these standalone units that are a part of this parking garage where I was trying to sell my car." It's very strange. So I walk over there and I'm like trying to go up the stairs, trying to find a bathroom. And I come upon what looks like It's like one of those candy machines where there's kind of two rollers that are together and you kind of push the candy through, or like a paper roll maker, like any one of those kind of like presses almost, but it's like two rollers kind of going like, no, not like this, like they're rotating and you push things through the center. Uh, Good, okay. We're going to go with Pinolith next for some kind of calming energy as we continue through this story. So I need to use this bathroom, and I come upon these rollers, and they're like, this is the bathroom. I'm like, what? This is not a bathroom. These are like industrial machines of sorts. Like, what? And they're like, no, no. And the rollers kind of pull apart, so there's a giant space in the middle, and I'm supposed to put my body through the middle of these rollers, and on the other side, like you can't see, and there's like a plastic sheet on the inside, and they're like, we want you to use the restroom right here. Like, okay, this is really weird. Like, what? And so I follow these instructions and I use the restroom and I get back out and I go back to this lobby area where I'm just waiting for them to tell me what I'm in trouble for. And so I go back there and they still don't know. So I'm like, well, this is dumb. You're wasting my time. If you can't figure out if I'm supposed to be here or not, then I'm not supposed to be. Let me leave. They're like, no, no. But I'm like, okay, well, I decide to walk back out to the parking garage where my car is that I was supposed to be selling to them, but that never actually like got figured out because of this whole jail scenario. So I go and get back in the car and I get in and I'm like, this is kind of my car. Things are a little different. Doesn't feel quite right, but it's like the same make and model, but like the windows are tinted and my car didn't have tinted windows. Like, okay, well, I'm gonna get in it and drive and leave because why would I stay? And so I get out and I drive out of this parking garage and I take a right out of the parking garage. And as I take a right, I start to have this like immense amount of guilt. Like, why did I take this car that clearly isn't mine? Like, I know there's too many differences about it. Now I really am a thief. Why didn't I just find my real car? Why do they think I'm under arrest? Like, what have I done? And the answer was nothing. Like, there was no reason given in this dream, and why would I stay? And so the whole point here, and I woke up knowing, was that in order to escape the matrix, all you have to do is get up and walk out. Like, you don't need anybody's permission. You can't wait for somebody to tell you what to do. Like, they're never going to tell you. They're going to keep you trapped in there forever. And the entrapment comes in this form of like fear and of obedience and feeling vulnerable to some unknown force that there is nothing. And so perhaps we live in a prison planet of sorts, but it's only one of our own making. You can decide how to live your life, how to choose otherwise. I feel the weight of this revelation kind of coming upon you. Make sure you continue to breathe. There's lots of sort of realizations sort of coming through your head right now. I feel all of these things kind of wandering in. I know it's intended to be a meditation, but sometimes you have to acknowledge the thoughts as they come through and thank them for being here and just say, I will come back to you later. This is not the right time or space to process these feelings. This is a space to ground into your body, to relax and feel safe and feel at home. I feel this little bit of grief welling up in your head too. we're going to raise the vibrations here a little bit. I've got some hypersynth. I like to think of this as magical grounding. It has kind of that same sheen as labradorite. You can see it in the light. That reflective quality about it, but it is very well grounding. And so why did I share this dream with you? Why do we bring this back to this tarot card spread that I've already seen this week? I've already lived this week once. I know I have. But the past version of me made different choices. And this is the do-over. This is the second chance. This is the opportunity to do something different and achieve different results. And so by choosing to not just follow the tarot spread as it has come, I have used my free will to break free of the expectation of the matrix, of the control I have within this space. And you can choose to do something different too. Part of being able to do that is being able to recognize what's here, what's now, what's real. So come back to these thoughts. My name is, I'm how many years old? The color of my eyes is, I live here. I have so many pets or no pets. I have kids or no kids. I'm married or dating somebody, or I'm single. Come back to these truths that are the core of you right this moment. What is it that you believe? What is it that you know to be true? Do you have a job? Do you work? Do you not work? How do you occupy your time most of the time? And then you can start moving towards the harder things. I have been doing this thing, I have been getting this result, and I don't like that. I want something different. What are you doing differently to achieve different results? Are you experimenting? Are you trying something new? Or are you doing the same thing over and over and just expecting different results? One of my quotes that I like to come back to, it might actually be a Bible story for all I remember. Forgive me if it is or isn't. My memory is not the best, especially for these type of historical things. But the story of the man pushing the boulder up the hill for all eternity, just to have it get to the top and roll back down again. And it was his own personal version of hell, because he just kept rolling that boulder up and up and up the hill. And he kept being told that if you just get it to the top of the hill, you're going to be in heaven. But he never was able to do it, but he kept trying over and over and never got anything different. But he never actually had to push that boulder. All he had to do was say, no, I'm not going to, and move on. Being able to say no and edit your life and figure out what is right for you and not right for you, it's how you start to curate the future that you want. You absolutely need to seize the opportunities that are aligned for you, but you also need to be willing to walk away. That is where your power lies. That is how you escape the matrix. You have to be willing to say no and know that better things, more aligned things are going to come for you. I hear spirit. That might be you. I'm not quite sure. We're going to grab Numite. This is another wonderful grounding stone, a little less floaty, a little more down here. Even as you choose to say no to things, there's still absolutely a reality that we have to contend with. Work stinks, we have bills to pay. You can say no to all of those things, but we're still rooted in consequences of life. If you don't pay your rent, you're going to get evicted eventually. If you don't have a job, you can't necessarily pay rent. I recognize that's not everybody's situation, but you have to recognize where you're at and figure out how you're going to change it. And Spirit's out here to help you and provide those opportunities that are aligned with you. But I also don't want you to go get ideas that sound really amazing and really pie in the sky. We have to stay grounded as we move forward. And after such a disorienting week of living this all for a second time, reality and grounding is right where we need to be right now. I want you to just take a minute to do a scan of your body. What is it that you could just adjust a little bit just to be a little bit more comfortable? Can you drop your shoulders back? Is your jaw clenched? How about your hands? Are they in tight fists? I felt that neck relax. Do you feel that in your feet? Just take a moment. Feel your grounding cord go down to the center of the earth. And notice where you're at in the world. I feel like there's a lot of folks tuning in that are in very sandy places. I feel that kind of dry, deserty, sandy kind of material of the earth that folks are going through. There's lots in kind of this, I want to say Pacific Northwest just because that's where I'm from and that's the earth I'm very familiar with, but this like very moist, a little bit rocky. There's like a layer of clay going through that grounding cord, but the dirt above it, the topsoil, is just so rich. And as you get deeper down, there's a lot of rock down there too. Your grounding cord has no issues going through any of it. It's just noticing the density, the material, how it feels, what are the attributes of that earth that you rest your feet upon. And going through your bed totally counts too. I see some memory foam in there. Plenty of folks on the second story of their house, plenty on the first. As you get closer to the center of the earth, do you feel it heating up? Can you bring some of that warmth over your body? Even though we release things through our grounding cord, energy flows both ways. You can still receive things too. sure you keep breathing. I'm gonna do one other thing for the end of this session. So we are so well grounded now, but we're gonna bring in some energy from the sun. We've got that heat from the earth, but feeling that sun energy, and I've got a piece of yellow aventurine here, just beaming down on the top of your head, on your shoulders, on your arms. You don't need to worry about a sunburn right now. You're going to be perfectly fine. Feel that heat. Allow it to wash over you, spread down your arms, down your neck and your back, all the way to the center of the core of your being. Notice how the sun energy and the earth energy feel just a little bit different from each other. The earth energy feels a lot more dense, kind of like a molten lava heat. I'm getting like this image of like cheese, like on a lasagna or something like that. Like, you know, if you bite into that right now, it's gonna burn the top of your mouth, that kind of heat. Where's the sun coming down? This feels a lot more light, a lot more fluid. It reminds me a lot of like a hot tub, or the sort of energy you would get from going to play in the surf at the beach. Just bring both of those energies and notice how they start to form in the center of your being, right around your heart chakra. Just allow yourself to absorb that energy. Oh my gosh, this is making me tear up. The energy just feels so good and wonderful, but allow your body to just feel what it needs to feel. Feel yourself replenish this energy, this lightness, this, it almost feels like you've been running on empty a little bit. You can do this anytime, with or without the video. Just notice this earth and this cosmic energy come down and fill up your soul, fill up your heart, fill up your space, your aura, all of you, all of your body and your essence and everything. You're doing so great. This has been so wonderful, but there's also a lot of energy that's moved. So if you need to fall asleep, just let your body do that. But if you're intending to stand up after this, I want you to be slow and intentional with your movements. The energy feels very floaty right now, and I don't want you getting up and falling over or anything like that. So just take your time coming back to earth. As you open your eyes, maybe reach over and touch the floor with your hands before standing up. It really helps. It's gonna be okay, friends. You get to choose your reality, and it's gonna be okay. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.